Well, it started in Neath in the old Castle Hotel, just a chance meeting really, with Rhys Thomas, and it went from there then.
If I'm going back to the time that I first went there was 1964. That was the first time that I went down to Glynneath, and we stayed at a village 10 mile away, Aberdare. Aberdare, and we stayed in. There was 2 hotels there. I can't remember exactly what they were called, but we stayed there, and the committee was up in one. And the players, which was a wrong move because obviously having all the players together, the hotel was just about wrecked before we came away. Whereas the committee one was spotless as you would expect. But my first game, as I said, playing down there, I played against who became an internationalist after that, Di Weavers. Di Weavers played in the wing, and we got a 6-6 draw that particular day. A drop goal in Bedrew Amara and a penalty by Ronnie James. That was the first. I can't remember who scored for the Glynneath that particular time. And since then, as I said, we've been coming up and down, and the friendship's just gotten stronger and stronger over the years. There's been so many. In fact, there's been people from Hawick married people for Glynneath thing too, which is
vice versa as well.
Now. So there's been a great association over the years, and you can see how it's developed from there. One of our memories was 1978 when Mark's Boys, as you know, was from Glynneath. It was This Is Your Life, and after the game we all went down to Swansea to the BBC studios at Swansea. Had a bus load down there, and we had a great night then. And after that game, we went to the game on the Saturday, and we parked at the Sophia Gardens, and we were in the what do we call them there? The sports centre there. Yeah. And after the game, we all went back there to get the bus, and we're sitting in there, and this bus driver comes in and says, "If you don't come now, you're not getting a lift back to Glynneath." The snow had started, and we couldn't believe how much snow had started in such a short time. The time we got back to Glynneath, as I said, we stopped there, and we were staying at the Barberstocks, which was about 5 miles just outside, or something like that. And on the Sunday, we were wanting to go away. We were wanting to go away early because we knew about the snow, but we still had to go down to the club rooms to pick up 1 or 2 boys that was still stragglers there. So we got down, and I always remember there was a guy called Billy Trimby, big guy, big tall guy. And of course the bus was taken off, coming out of Glynneath, and it's quite a hill coming up the way, and the snow was still falling and thing. And everybody's saying, just leave him. He was trying to catch up in the bus, and he was the slowest person in the team. Eventually he got on and we came. But as soon as we got by Monmouthshire, there was no snow. It just be away. But that was my recollections of the early years and things like that. And as I said, twice I was there as the president of the club, and as I said, very hospitable club, and enjoyed every time. The last time I was there about 4 or 5 years ago, and I know the last twice that they've been down, the Hawick ones have been down, they've wanted me to go. Eddie Brogan said, "I'll take you down," and thing, but I says no. I said, "It's young man now. Let the young ones get on with it," because my son was down, and so was my grandson. So I thought it was time for me to step back that wee bit and think that.
The highlight of the trips to Cardiff and Murrayfield was when they designated me as to be in charge of the sing-song competition. They wanted somebody with integrity and honesty, and I was like Stu Barker. I was keeping it really tight rein on them, and if there's any arguments, I would deduct points. Like this one, Rob gave a nice song, lovely voice, but I actually had to deduct 10 points because he had ginger hair, as you can see. Border the coat, but I had it for ginger hair. Yes, and another time then was when Tom Reid, on a Saturday morning before we went to Cardiff, Tom Reid turned up with greys down here and a greys down there. Now the younger people won't remember how the old razor blades used to be. You had to put the blade in and you tighten the screw, but Tom forgot to tighten it. And after too many whiskies the night before, you know, when he did one, he did two.
Right. I always remember we always said he had the Sunday post stuck on his face coming up the road because of so many bits he had to put on. That's right.
And another time then, George stayed with me, and after the game on a Friday night, the after-match dinner, probably left the club about 1:30 in the morning, and George said, have you got any, shall we have coffee? I said, yeah. Have you got any Baileys? I said, I'll do the coffee. I'm sure there's Baileys in the cupboard there. So, unbeknown to me, when we got up in the morning, my wife said, who had the Baileys last night? We get up at 8 to go to Cardiff, cook breakfast. I said, oh, we had it with coffee. She said, did you read the label? I said, 1:30 in the morning. Couldn't even see the bottle. Apparently, George had shaken it. She said, it says on the label, consumed within 3 months of opening. That came with us when we moved from Ace Crescent 6 years ago. We were in Cardiff and we just kept looking at each other. Are you all right? Yes, it was some great times, yeah.
Good. As I say, some of the trips into the internationals on the day when you had the Glynneath and the trades in the bus was good camaraderie. And as I said, Brian was the MC. And unfortunately, we never won yet. We're still waiting. And I'm hoping this weekend that we might just get a victory, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch too, in the bus too.
Yeah. What do you think is so key to the long-standing relationship between the two towns?
I think it could be the Celt connection. I think that's a lot to do with it. But I think, once you make a friend, you're a friend for life. And I think this is going to carry on with the youth.
That's right.
Right? This is going to be the new white trades, Glynneath. I think it's going to be...
I think everybody hopes, because it's went on since 1956. What's to stop it going on for 100 years, right? Yeah. Enough, to get the 100 years with Hawick and Glynneath connection. I don't see any reason why not. And I think this is the way forward. The young ones, the young players, bringing it forward and things. So hopefully it continues. I hope I see a few more of them too.
My name's Amy. I'm from Glynneath and I'm the daughter of Michael Tubby Griffiths. So initially, when my dad first got diagnosed with motor neuron disease, we did some research as to potentially trying to get him to America, which means we started the Be Tough for Tubby, which was a fund to raise some money, possibly try and get him out to America, but then COVID hit. So we used some of that money then to upgrade some facilities within the bungalow that we bought to help my dad. And then since he's passed, we've decided to use the remainder of the money to go back into the village of Glynneath. So just helping people in need, just to give back as my dad would want us to do. For as long as I can remember, a little girl, I always remember my dad coming up to hike. And I always, as I said, for as long as I can remember, Eddie coming down to stay with us as well. So although it's friendship, it's turned into family now, so it's been amazing, yeah. Like I said, the connection with Hawick has been going on for such a long time. My dad and Eddie Brogan have kept that going, and to see the youngsters trying to continue to keep that going, you'd be so proud of it. I think it's an amazing connection. Hopefully it'll continue for years and years to come.
Well, it's nice to just get the connection back. Like I came up here, so that I think we were still playing. We'd done 50 years. How long? What year was that?
Be back in
early 2000s.
Yeah, it was.
So I was still playing, and it was just a great trip for me. Just come out and just go on the tour, and we just made some great friends. Like so, I organised a tour to Toronto, and we got guys like Ollie and Rory and Brian McGinn came on tour with us. But that's what this is about. It's not about, yes, it's about the rugby and it's playing a hard game, but it's about making friends and making connections, and like they were almost like players for us.
I remember going to Glynneath 1985, playing for Hawick Trades as I say, an 18-year-old. And it is one of the hardest games I've ever played in. To say I was frightened would be an understatement. It was way the intensity, it was the brutality, but it was Scotland against Wales. Yeah. And I think I played in a few games here at Volunteer, which we won, but when I've never ever been in a winning team in Glynneath, and believe me, I think I'd done probably 12 visits, and I was never in a winning trades team in Glynneath. And you can't get out the rugby, how hard it is.
I think he's right there. Like I remember coming up here as a kid, like I came up when I was like 18, 19, and I never seen ferocious rucking like I'd seen here. It was like they wanted to hurt us. But like after the game, it wasn't like that at all either. So, you know, it was just like I said earlier, it's like making friends, and like someone wanted to take my head off in a game, but then came in the bar after, and we were all mates. It got lost, and I was disappointed about that. Like I said, I came when I was 18, 19-year-old, and it stopped when I was in my mid-20s and still playing, and I missed that, and like missed that connection and missed the touring trip. But I think now hopefully this will start it all back up again.
Yeah, I think back when I was with Hawick Wanderers before we formed Hawick Youth, Tubby was a great guy to Glynneath. No appearance, no because of the rugby side of things, just because of the friendship we made over the years through Hawick Trades and what have you. And when the boy says we'd like to go on a rugby trip, and I just thought right away, let's go to Glynneath and try and build that connection back up. So we turned the boys down, we played against the Glynneath team that year, and then unfortunately Glynneath couldn't get a youth team for the next 2 years after that. So they brought teams in and have been desperate to get Glynneath up the hike. And I think with the sadness of what happened with Tubby passing away, it's brought everybody so much closer. Absolutely. And we've got a common goal now, beating motor neurons disease. And this weekend will always be now the Tubby weekend for me.
Yeah.
And this, to give these guys a chance to get out on that pitch tonight, to see Glynneath Youth up and hike for the very first time, honest to God, it's been well worth the effort. It's been a lot of hard work, but the hard work tonight will pay off. And fingers crossed we'll get a great game out there. Yes, Hawick Youth's in a transition season this season. We've struggled a bit, but I'm sure Scotland against Wales, you always raise your game. Always raise your game.
Well, it's remembering Tubby, isn't it? You know, who was a great guy, a great rugby player, but off the field he was a gentleman, and he embodies this connection. You know, he had friends up here. Eddie was his best mate, like Griffo now. His boy's just taken over that feat now and just keeping that connection. So, like, yeah, we're playing here, but a lot of this is about Tubby Griff and motor neuron and like what he had to fight.
I'll be honest with you, and if it wasn't for Tubby, this weekend would probably not be happening, because he was my go-to man in Glynneath, and I can't, every time I went down, and last year I was a wee bit worried because it was the first time without Tubby, how it was got to work. Is everything still got to be in place? Because I knew when Tubby done it, it was got to be done right. And I'm not just saying that because the guy's not here and we're doing it for what we're doing it. I'm genuinely meaning that Tubby went out his way to help me, and this is why this weekend now is happening.
And he's got a huge connection to the youth, so he calls to the youth, and that's why we wanted to push that. Like, yes, he was a first team guy, but he pushed the youth all the time, and that's why this youth are coming up now. You know, it's a mark of respect for him, I think.
My prediction is Hawick victory tonight, Scotland victory tomorrow. But I'll tell you, at the end of the day, we'll all be bloody friends and we'll still have a beer together and have fun. Just a few things to say. I'll not be here all night, I promise. Guys, Glynneath, thank you so much for your first visit as under 18s up the Hawick. It's been a lot of hard work over the years to get this to happen. And in Tubby's memory, he'll be up there looking down and now saying, brilliant, it's happened. We've worked hard for this. Be proud of yourselves, a lot of you. Really appreciate it. The game itself, the whole lot of every single player deserves a massive pat on the back. The game was played in the best of spirits, and I hope you're going to enjoy the rest of your weekend and drink loads of spirits together. For you boys at 18, that is. Right, I'm not going to keep it. Basically, we've got the presentation. I would like to ask Jonathan and Amy, which is Tubby's son and daughter, to present the cup to the winning captain of Hawick Youth. Go on, Fergus, son. Well done. Fergus will invite the rest of your boys up now to get the presentation, but I'd like you to say a few words what that meant to you guys tonight.
Just a massive thanks to Glynneath for coming up. Again, no, a long journey. We done it last year, it's no easy. Playing on the same day as well, so thanks very much for coming up. And tour boys, well played tonight. You deserve that, so aye, keep the heads up.
Well done, boys.
Aye, no, it was really good to play in that kind of special thing between the two clubs to have that fixture, so really happy to play and happy to get the win. Canted be physical when they came up. I was well with big Welsh sides, touring sides, so aye, pretty tough game. Aye, it was pretty loud in the stands. I think the boys maybe struggled that a wee bit, but no, it was good to hear. Ken, we spoke about that before the game, saying how much it can take for that, for Doddy, for Tubby, how much you can use that as motivation for the game, so aye, it was really good.
Yeah, I did really enjoy it. Obviously, scoreline in the end, got in, but you know, I can say a lot of the boys that tried their hardest out there. It just came down to a few little mistakes in the end, and yeah, that's just how it is. To me, this fixture is so important to have, like a fixture with a different club, especially one from a different country as well. It's good to have that relationship, you know what I mean? And I know personally I'm good mates with a lot of the boys from Scotland now, and well, this is our third fixture against them. Well, my personal third fixture against them. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it's a great experience for me as the club captain. Well, it's my last year of youth, but at the moment, Glynneath, we're on the rise. Like every single year, we're getting better and better. Like last year, we struggled to win many games, and this year now we've gone to a point where, at the moment, we're 8 out of 9. Well, 8 out of 10 now with this fixture. It's just gone. And but yeah, it was a really good game, and I think we build off it. We go back to training, and yeah. Tubby, as a man, I know for a fact he really enjoyed the idea of youth rugby in Glynneath, and that's what he adored, and that's why this fixture is between the youth teams, because he loved the youth probably, well, some would say more than he loved the first team rugby, and that's why we play each other. We make these relationships with other players from the team.